Okay, so we have seen two sets in pie charts. Let's proceed to the third set. Alright, so the data is on the screen. I would request everyone to pause the video for a while, understand what the data has been given, and resume the video when you have clear understanding of both the pie charts. Okay? Alright, so let's have a look at the data. The following pie charts exhibit the distribution of the overseas tourist traffic from India. The two charts shows the tourist distribution by country and age profiles of the tourists respectively. So this is the distribution of the tourists. Okay. Now the first question is, what percentage of Indian tourists went to either USA or UK? Very simple question, very easy. Pause the video for about 45 seconds and try to solve it on your own. Alright, so I hope by now you have marked the correct answer. The first question is, what percentage of Indian tourists went to either USA or UK? Now the country-wise distribution is this, right? And they've asked either USA or UK. So USA is 40%, UK is 10%, so the sum is 50%. Very simple. Answer is option B, right? The category was very easy. This was just to understand or test your understanding of the data. So I'm sure 100% of you would have marked the correct answer. Next question. The ratio of the number of Indian tourists that went to USA to the number of Indian tourists who were below 30 years of age is what? Right? So pause the video. This is easy to moderate. Take about 1.5 minutes. Alright, so I hope by now you have marked the correct answer. Let's have a look at the question. The ratio of the number of Indian tourists that went to USA. So what is the percentage of the tourists went to USA? That is 40%. To the number of Indian tourists who were below 30 years of age. Below 30 years of age. So below 30 years. That is 15%. Sorry, it should be years. That is 15%. And I'm supposed to find the ratio of these two. But my first question is that, can we find the ratio if we do not know the actual numbers? Right? Can we find the ratio? So yes, why? Because if there are 100% of Indian tourists, this chart also totals 100% and this chart also totals 100%. You can check. This is 40%, 10%, 20%, 30%. So this represents Indian tourists 100%. This also represents 100% of Indian tourists. So I can simply take the ratio here. 40:15 divided by 5, 8:3. So that is my correct answer. Option B, right? Why I categorized it in easy to moderate category is because there is one option cannot be determined, and that can create some self-doubt, that can create some panic. That is why. Right? So this was question 2. I'm sure most of you would have been able to solve it. Question 3. It's a 3-liner question. If amongst other countries, Switzerland accounted for 25% of Indian tourist traffic, and it is known from official Swiss records that a total of 25 lakh Indian tourists had gone to Switzerland during the year, then find the number of 30 to 39-year-old Indian tourists who went abroad that year. Okay, moderate level question, take 2 minutes, pause the video, come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have tried the question and you have marked your answer. Let's hope it is correct. Okay, let's try it together. If amongst other countries, so other countries is this, they represent 20%. So other countries, let me just mention it. Other countries, 20%. Switzerland accounted for 25%. Switzerland accounted for 25% of this. What is 25% of 20%? 5%. right? So we can say that 5% of tourists, they went to Switzerland. And it is known from official Swiss records that a total of 25 lakh Indian tourists had gone to Switzerland during the year. So can I say that this 5% is equal to 25 lakhs, right? We can say that 5% is equal to 25 lakhs. 25 lakhs of Indian tourists. Find the number of 30 to 39-year-old Indian tourists who went abroad that day. 30 to 39, that is this 15%. 30 to 39 is 15%. So if 5% is 25 lakhs, 15% would be what? Obviously 75 lakhs. So our answer is option D, 75 lakhs of Indian tourists of this age group, 30 to 39, they went abroad this year, right? Okay, why I put that in moderate category? Because it was a little bit longer to read, it takes longer to understand, but when you understand, once you understand that it's a simple question, right? Let's move to question set 4, okay? Now, the data has been given. The following pie charts show the distribution of students of graduate and postgraduate levels in 7 different institutes in a town. Distribution of students at graduate and postgraduate levels in 7 institutes. So this is a distribution, okay? Take about 30 seconds, understand the data, come back to me when you have understood what has been given. Alright, so I hope by now you have understood the data. Now let's look at the first question. What is the total number of graduate and postgraduate level students in Institute R? Right? Category easy. You should take about 1 minute, pause the video, come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Alright, let's try this question together. What is the total number of graduate and postgraduates? That means we have to take both into the account. Graduate and postgraduate from Institute R. R is here and R is here. That means I am supposed to find 17% of 273 plus 14% of 24700. Right? How would you solve this? Number 1, by the traditional method. That means by finding the values. Right? You can just find the percentages and then you have the answer. But no. Is that the fastest or is that the best method? No. Can we apply the unit digit method here? So that, let's say, we might have either an answer ending with 0 or an answer ending with 7 or 1 or 6 or 9. Let's try to understand. What will be the last digit of this calculation? 7 into 7, that is 9. Sorry, 7 into 3, that is 9. It will end in 9. 4 into 7, that will end in 8. Correct? 27300, and I'm supposed to find 17%, and here 14% of 24700. Right? So this ends in, so 17% of 273, 1. Oh, I made a mistake. It should be 1 here. Yeah, not 9. 7 into 3, 21 ka 1. 4 into 7, 28 ka 8. 1 plus 8, that gives me 9. So the last digit has to be 9 and my answer has to be 8099. Right? You don't have to find the actual values. And this is the difference between somebody who is a 99 percentiler and somebody who is not a 99 percentiler. You have to think, can I reach the answer faster? Use the unit digit method, right? So what did we do here? We again used the famous unit digit method. One of my favorites. Why? Because if you think about it, you can actually find the answer without using pen. So can you imagine this question to be no pen question? I would say yes. Because ultimately I'm supposed to find the unit digit of 2 single numbers. That can be done very easily. Right? So this is a no pen question. बहुत आसानी से इसको किया जा सकता था. under 30 seconds as well. And one more thing we haven't talked about this is when you solve a question without pen under 30 seconds, it boosts your confidence, right? And God knows you need confidence when you're writing the exam of CAT. You need confidence, right? So such questions, when you solve them without pen, that boosts your confidence, that gives you that edge, that brings you in the mood, that sets up the atmosphere, right? So these small victories, these small wins, they are required. Let's go to question number 2 now. What is the ratio between the number of students studying at postgraduate and graduate levels respectively from Institute S? Moderate, easy to moderate level question. Take about 1.5 minutes. Come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Alright, so I hope by now you have tried to solve it, and once again, I would expect that now you are thinking smartly. You are thinking, okay, what can you do differently to get the answer? So let's think. What is the ratio between the number of students studying at postgraduate and graduate from Institute S? So the numerator is postgraduate. Let me take up the numerator. This is this 21% of 24700. And the denominator is graduate from S, 14% of 273. Did you notice how conveniently I did not write 24700 and 27300? I'm reducing my rough work while I'm understanding the data. I'm already solving while I'm understanding the data. This is the difference. This is how you can cultivate the habit. Okay, let's think about this. So I have to reduce this, and the answer is one of these, right? Okay, what can we easily understand? What can we easily reduce? So we know that this is 7 into 3. We know that this is 7 into 2. Okay? So one thing we can definitely conclude from this is the numerator is odd, the denominator is even for sure. And if you have a 2 at the denominator, and if you have no even number on the numerator, you cannot cancel that 2 out. आप इस 2 को cancel out नहीं कर पाओगे. And what does that mean? It means that your denominator is going to be even for sure. So I will look at the data. Which answer has an even denominator? A no, B no, C no, D yes. That's it. D is my answer. Done. Very simple, smart work, not hard work. Meaningless hard work, but smart work. We just thought that there is a 2 and we cannot cancel that 2 out. इस 2 को आप आंसर में से निकाल नहीं सकते, वो रहेगा, तो आंसर में रहेगा हमेशा. इसका मतलब आपका डिनोमिनेटर जो है वो हमेशा इवन रहेगा, तो इवन एक ही केस में मिल रहा है डी. दैट हैज टू बी द आंसर. यू हैव टू हैव दैट फेथ. दैट हैज टू बी द आंसर, राइट? ऑब्वियसली यू कैन वेरीफाई इट, राइट? फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर ये नहीं करना होता, अगर ये मेरा दिमाग नहीं चला, तो मैं क्या कर सकता था? ओके, लेट्स थिंक. इफ वी आर नॉट एबल टू डू दिस, व्हाट एल्स कैन वी डू, राइट? ओके, सो आई हैव दिस 247 and I have this 273. 247 seems like a multiple of 19, right? Because this is 190 plus 57. So this is 19 into 13. Okay, so if this is a multiple of either 13 or 19, that will make my job easier. So it's 273. Now is it a multiple of 19? Let's check. It is 190 plus 83. No, it's not. Is it a multiple of 13? So this is 260 plus 13. Yes, this is 13 into 21. So this is 13 into 19. This is 13 into 21. So once again we are stuck here. So this will give me 7. That answer will be 19 is to 14. If you are doing this by this method, you are about an 85 or 90 percentiler. But if you use the odd even, you are a 99 percentiler if you solve that question by this logic, odd even. And that is where you have to see, right? That is where you have to understand. You have to note these things down कि ये चीजें भी use कर सकते हो. right? So a great question, great not in the way that it is very difficult, great in the way that it distinguishes the students. ये ना students को छांट के रख देता है कि you are a 99 percentiler, you are an 80 percentiler, you are a 60 percentiler, and so on. Okay, so let's move on to the next question. Question number 3. How many students of institutes of M and S are studying at graduate level? So simple question. I'm going to give you 1 minute for this. That is even more than required. Take 1 minute, pause the video, come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have tried it. How many students of institutes M and S are studying at the graduate level? Graduate level का करना है and M and S का करना है. Graduate is this, M plus S. M is 17%, S is 14%. So I will simply add them. They represent about 31% of 27300. And by now आपको click हो जाना चाहिए that we are going to use which method? Unit digit, last digit. What will be the last digit of this? 1 into 3. That is going to give me 3 as a last digit. Last digit or unit digit, जो बोलना है बोल सकते हो. Do I have any option or any single option with 3 at the end? Yes, I do. That is my answer. This becomes so easy, guys. This is so easy. This is amazing logic. कितना ही difficult question क्यों ना हो, there might be a scope of applying this method, and it might just give you the answer. It might just save a couple of minutes, right? So unit digit is 3. There is only one option, 8463. Option B is the correct answer, and I'm sure by now about half of you are solving the question this way, right? Okay, let's go to the next question. Question 4 is on the screen. What is the ratio between the number of students studying at postgraduate level from institutes S and the number of students studying at graduate level from institute Q? Now you know the trick of solving these questions. Easy to moderate. Take about 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes maximum, and come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope you are pausing the video. You are trying to solve the question with the time frame that I'm giving you. Let's try this question. Ratio between. So we are supposed to find the ratio of number of students studying at postgraduate from Institute S. What is postgraduate? Institute S. S is 21%. So numerator is 21 into 247. Denominator is number of students of graduate from Q. 13%. Sorry, it should be multiplication 273. Now from the last question we do remember that this is 13 into 19 and this is 13 into 21. 21 gone. So remaining is 19 is to 13. So 19 is to 13, that is the answer, option D. Why? Because we remembered the values from the last question or from the last question. So yes, this used something called memory, right? And it should click every time that you see the similar part. I saw that I am again reducing 247 and 273. So that's why our answer is that. Correct? Okay, we'll go to the next question. Question number 5. Total number of students studying at postgraduate level from institutes N and P is. Simple question, easy question. I'm going to give you 1 minute, not more than that. And I want every one of you to have solved this question correctly. Pause the video, come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, I hope you have attempted and solved it correctly. The total number of students studying at postgraduate level from institutes N and P. Postgraduate, this pie chart, N and P, 27% of 24700. Last digits are all different, so I'm going to use unit digit method. 7 into 7 gives me 49. Last digit should be 9, and my answer is 6669. Right? So yes, I would term this question a no pen question. Call it a no pen question or call it a 20-second question. That's really up to you, right? How fast you are able to first identify कि क्या यहाँ पर ये मेथड लगेगा, और अगर आइडेंटिफाई हो गया है तो इसको इंप्लीमेंट करो. इंप्लीमेंट कर दिया, कितना टाइम लगता है? 20 seconds, 15 seconds, 10 seconds. हो सकता है कि some of you might have solved it in 5 seconds. It's entirely possible, and that is where it creates magic. So that was question 5. Let's move on. Our next set number 5. I hope you are ready. Okay, this looks like something new. Study the following pie chart and questions. Okay, so we have been given the proportion of population and the percentage population below poverty line. So the data is a bit complicated. I'm going to give you 1 or 1.5 minutes to understand the data, and come back to me when you have a clear understanding of what has been given. Okay, so I hope by now you have understood what is given. Question 1. If the population of village R in 1997 is 32,000, then what will be the population of village Y below poverty line in that year? Easy to moderate level question. I'm going to give you about 1.5 minutes. Try to solve it. Pause the video. Come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have marked your answer. And if some of you might not have been able to solve this, that's entirely fine. Let's understand. First of all, data. This is the proportion of population of 7 villages. So that means if there is a 100% population, we can say that 16% are living in R, 11% are living in Z, and so on. Coming to this table, this is village XYZ. So these are all villages. Percentage population below poverty line. That means I can say that 38% of population living in X is living below poverty line. This is how we are supposed to read the data. Now let's come to the question. If the population of village R in 1997 is 32000, so R ka population, which is 16%. So 16% is 32000. Then what will be the population of village Y? What will the population of village Y below poverty line in that year? Y is 15%, and that too below poverty line is 52%. Okay, now understand what is going on. If 16% of population is 32000, 100% of population will be, देखो सिंपल है, 16 का डबल हुआ तो 100 का डबल 200, पीछे 3 0 तो इधर भी 3 0, so it's like 2 lakhs. The population, total population is 2 lakhs, and उसमें we are supposed to find 15% और इसका 52%. चलो पहले उसका 15% निकाल देते हैं. 15% कितना होगा? इसका 30,000, और उसका 52% कितना होगा? So we are supposed to find 52% of 32,000, right? चलो इसका लास्ट डिजिट क्या होगा? 0, बिकॉज 52 के नीचे अगर आप 100 रखोगे तो 2 0 कैंसिल हो जाएंगे, एंड 0 से आगे क्या होगा? 2 into 2 4, ये 2 into 2 4. So is that enough for me to find the answer? No, it's not, है ना? बिकॉज यहां पर अभी सारे ही 0 0 है और 2 into 2 4 कहीं पे दिख नहीं रहा है, राइट? सो पॉपुलेशन ऑफ y का ही लिया है ना हमने, हाँ y का ही लिया है, और यहां पर भी y ही है 15%. ओके, नो इश्यूज. चलो, सो 15% 30,000 हुआ. ओ शिट, यहां पर मैंने 32 ले लिया. ओ माय बैड. 30,000 लेना है. My bad. Once again, let's go to the last digit. So the last digit is going to be like, the last non-zero digit is going to be 6, because 2 into 3 is going to give us 6. Last non-zero digit. 6 कहां पर है last non-zero digit? यहां पर. So B is the answer. Right? So यहाँ पर I did not use unit digit, but I used last non-zero digit. How does this work? Let me show you. Let's say you are supposed to multiply 2000, let's say 20,000 into 300. Okay, so you can understand that पीछे बहुत सारे जीरो आएंगे. Let's say too many zeros. We can count how many, but I don't want to. So I'm just saying too many zeros. इसका लास्ट नॉन जीरो है 2, इसका लास्ट नॉन जीरो है 3, so इसका लास्ट नॉन जीरो डिजिट 6 ही होगा, right? लास्ट नॉन जीरो डिजिट 6 ही होगा. फॉर एग्जाम्पल दिस वाज लेट्स से 1. लेट्स से यू आर सपोज टू मल्टीप्लाई 34700 into 492563000. I don't care about the answer. I care about the last non-zero digit. देखो पीछे बहुत सारे जीरोस आएंगे. I don't care. So यहां पर 0 बहुत सारे होंगे. Let's say like this. But last non-zero क्या होगा? 7 into 321 का 1. ये इंपॉर्टेंट है. लास्ट non-zero digit. So कई बार लास्ट डिजिट आपको आंसर नहीं दे पाएगा बिकॉज लास्ट डिजिट सब में जीरो होगा. इन दैट केस यू कैन फाइंड द लास्ट नॉन जीरो डिजिट. प्रोसेस सेम है, जीरोस को इग्नोर करना है, पीछे वाले जीरोस को इग्नोर करना है, इनको. करेक्ट? सो आई होप दिस मेक सेंस. लेट्स कम बैक टू द डेटा. या सो आवर आंसर विल बी ऑप्शन बी 15600. Okay, I hope it is clear. Let's go to the next question. Question 2. The ratio of population of village T below poverty line to that of village Z below poverty line in 1997 is what? Okay, easy question. Take 1 minute, pause the video, come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Alright, so I hope you have tried and marked your answer. Now, population of village T below poverty line, that is T ka below poverty is 46% of T का टोटल पॉपुलेशन 21%. डिनोमिनेटर में Z बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन, सो Z का बिलो पॉवर्टी लाइन 42% ऑफ Z 11%. ओके, इसको हमें अंदर अंदर कैलकुलेट करना है. आई कैन नोटिस वन थिंग दैट डिनोमिनेटर में 11 है और न्यूमरेटर में 11 का कुछ नहीं है. दैट मींस 11 हैज टू बी इन द डिनोमिनेटर. सो ए कैन नॉट बी माय आंसर एंड डी कैन नॉट बी माय आंसर. वापस आते हैं. ओके, न्यूमरेटर में 46 है 23 इंटू 2. ओके, 46 जो है ना वो है 23 इंटू 2. डिनोमिनेटर में 23 जैसा कुछ दिखने रहा है, 2 कैंसिल हो जाएगा फॉर श्योर, बट 23 को आप कैंसिल आउट नहीं कर पाओगे. तो 23 भी न्यूमरेटर में होना चाहिए. सो बी कैन नॉट बी द आंसर, ओनली सी कैन बी द आंसर. दैट्स इट. Okay, I am not actually reducing it to the most reduced form. I am just making some accurate assumptions. कैसे कि भाई 11 डिनोमिनेटर में है, ऊपर किसी की औकात नहीं 11 को कैंसिल करने की, राइट? इन अ देसी सेंस. सो 11 को आप निकाल नहीं सकते डिनोमिनेटर से, 11 तो आएगा ही आएगा. न्यूमरेटर में आता है 46% बैठा हुआ है, 46 मतलब 23 इंटू 2 तो ये कैंसिल कर देगा 42 नीचे से. 23 को कैसे निकालोगे? नहीं निकाल सकते, तो 23 भी ऊपर आएगा ही आएगा. सो C is the only one which is fulfilling the criteria, and that is why C is the answer. Right? Let's move to the next one. Find the population of village S if the population of village X below poverty line in 1997 is 12160. Easy to moderate, I would say. I'm going to give you about 1.5 minutes. Try the question on your own. Come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have marked your answer. So let's try together. Find the population of village S. So we have to find population of village S. If the population of village X below poverty line is 12160. चलो X का below poverty line मतलब 38% of 16% is 12160. 38% of 16%. I should actually write this so that you understand. 16% of total is 12160. What are we supposed to find? We're supposed to find population of S. S का population है 11%. This is what we are supposed to find. Okay, 38% of 16% of total. मान लीजिए total is X या फिर X यहां पर यूज हो रहा है, तो काम करते हैं टोटल को A मान लेते हैं. A is the total population. So हम क्या लिख सकते हैं? 38 into 16, 38% into 16% into A is 12160. तो 11% कितना? So let's come to, I will need a blank space, so let's add a page. Yeah. So I'm saying 38%, so 38 upon 100 into 16%, 16 upon 100 into A is 12160. So can I say A is nothing but 12160 into 100, sorry, divided by 38 into 16. Right? As of now, this is clear. We are just making A as a subject of the equation. Now let's try to solve this. So I will first try to divide this by 16. So now I have 1216 divided by 16, right? So let's try to do that. 16 is 1200 plus 16. Now I'm just taking 1200 is a multiple of 16. If not, I will move on. So let's try to do it. 16 ऊपर है 121. 16 7 का कितना होता है? 112. So I would say 7 and remaining is 9 and 16 sevens are पीछे एक 0. So 760 into 16 happens to be 12160. Fine with that. Coming to 38, 38 into 20 will be this. So 20 into 100 into 100. So it is 2 lakh, which is A. Now what is 11% of A? 2 lakh है. अगर 1 lakh होता तो 11,000. 2 lakh है तो 22,000. So let me go to the question and the answer is 22,000. Okay, the answer is 22,000. Now, is there another way to find the answer? Is there any other way to find the answer? Yes. Is this the best way? No. Another way? Yes. Why? कैसे? 11% of something. You are supposed to find 11% of something. Okay, 11% इसका मतलब वो 11 का मल्टीपल तो होना ही चाहिए. वो फिगर 11's मल्टीपल तो होना ही चाहिए. 11% of something has to be 11 का मल्टीपल. ऑप्शन में से चेक करो 11 का मल्टीपल कौन सा है. The only one number which is 11's multiple is 22000. That's it. Right? This is like a 10-second question. अभी जो हमने blank page पे किया, that was not necessary. That was just to teach you that sometimes you think that you're doing the right thing and you will get the answer, but शायद कोई और बेहतर तरीका हो सकता था. So क्या तरीका था यहाँ पर? 11 का multiple. That's it. 11% of something has to be 11 का multiple. For example, 11% of 200 is 22, which is 11 का multiple. 11% of 300 is 33, which is again 11 का multiple. बहुत ही simple, है ना? So this question will test your smartness, that can you take that smart decision or not, right? That was question 3. Amazing question. अगर आपने ऐसे solve किया है गिन के, I have no problem with that, but आपको ये 11 का multiple भी करना चाहिए था, right? Let's move on. Question 4. If in 1998 the population of village Y and V increased by 10% each and the percentage of population below poverty line remains unchanged for all the villages, then find the population of village B below poverty line in 1998, given that the population of village Y in 1997 was 30,000. I would say moderate to difficult. I am going to give you about 2.5 minutes Pause the video for 2.5 minutes and come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have tried it. This might be a little difficult for a few students, but don't worry, we will solve it together. If in 1998 the population of village Y and V increased by 10% each, okay, so let's take a note of this, that 1998 में Y and V का population 10% से increase हो जाता है, okay. Population below poverty line remains unchanged for all the states, so this is unchanged. 1998 में ये same है, okay. 1998 में V and Y, V में 10% इंक्रीज, Y में भी 10% इंक्रीज, ओके. So it's 10%, so 10%, yeah, increase. Then find the population of village V below poverty line in 1998. Given that population of village Y, see we have one more information. Village Y का 1997 का population was 30,000. So village Y का जो 15% है, so 15% of A मतलब total population is 30,000. So what is A? A कितना होगा total? 15 का डबल 30 हुआ तो that means 100 का डबल 200 होगा, है ना? So 200 और पीछे 3 0. Total population must be 2 lakhs. Okay, fine. अब क्या करना है? So village Y का population से total population मिल गया. Now we have to find population of village V below poverty line in 1998. चलो पहले तो V का 1997 का population निकालते हैं. V मतलब 10%. 2 lakhs का 10% कितना होगा? 20,000. This is population of village V in 1997. That means village V का 1998 का population निकाल सकते हैं. कैसे? It has increased by 10%. Village V का population has increased by 10%. So I will add a blank page. Yeah. Village V का 97 का population है 20,000. That means village V का 98 का population में 10% increase हुआ है. Over what? 20,000. Obviously 20,000 का 10% 2,000. That means village V का 98 population is 22,000. Please remember this. Village V का 1998 का population is 22,000. So let me come back to the question. Yeah. Now हमें ढूंढना है below poverty line. Below poverty line village V 58% of 22,000. That is what we are supposed to find. I am writing here 58% of 22,000. कैसे फाइंड कर सकते हैं? एक ऑप्शन है 22,000 is 11 का मल्टीपल, आंसर हैज टू बी 11. 11 का मल्टीपल चेक करो. 11 का मल्टीपल चेक करना है, कैसे कर सकते हैं? 11 का मल्टीपल, व्हाट इज द डिविजिबिलिटी रूल ऑफ 11 का मल्टीपल? आई एम श्योर यू मस्ट हैव स्टडीड इन नंबर्स दैट द सम ऑफ ऑल्टरनेट डिजिट्स आइदर द डिफरेंस शुड बी 0 or 11's multiple. So let's try 11250. So 1 and 2 3, 1 and 5 6, no, not 11 का multiple. 12760. So 1 and 7 8, 6 and 2 8. Yes, ये 11 का multiple है. 1314, 1 and 1, no, this is not 11 का multiple. 1378. So 1 and 7, 8 and 3, no. So there is only one number which is 11 का multiple, and that is our answer, option B. Once again, we have used this method called multiple. Right? Let me explain this in a blank slide. So whenever you have something like this to find, for example, let's say 35, or let me take let's say something like this, 29% of 22,000 will be what? Okay, you are supposed to find this. Now, we know that 22,000 is 11's multiple. Hence, answer must be 11's multiple as well. That's it. This is the method of multiple. Right? Whenever you have a chance to use this, you can. 11's multiple ढूंढो, answer निकालो. Right? So this is one more. So we have seen unit digit method, that is last digit or last non-zero digit. This is multiple method. These are a few methods which help you increase your speed. Right? So let's come back to the question. Yeah. So what is the answer here? The only 11's multiple 12760, and I'm sure all of you would have understood by now. This was a difficult question. Let's come to our last set of pie charts. I am going to give you about 1 minute to understand the data. Pause the video. Come back to me when you have the clear understanding of what has been given. Alright, so I hope by now you have understood. The following pie chart shows the amount of subscriptions generated for India bonds from different categories of investors. So we have subscriptions. FII का 33% है, offshore funds का 16% है, others 4%, national banks 2%, corporate houses 34%, NRIs 11%. Okay, understood. Let's come to the question. In corporate sector, approximately how many degrees should be there in the central angle? Easy question. I'm going to give you about 1 minute, maximum 1 minute. Pause the video, come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope you have the answer. बहुत ही आसान क्वेश्चन है. We know what central angle is. किसका central angle निकालना है? Corporate sector का. Corporate sector is 34%. 34% मतलब कितना डिग्री? बस यही आप अपने को पूछा है. We know that 100% is 360 degree. So 34% कितना? Right? So it's like 360 into 34 divided by 100. Right? 360 into 34 divided by 100. This is all what you have to do. Right? क्या होगा ये? So what is 36 into 34? Right? So आप कैसे कर सकते हो? आप ऐसे कर सकते हो 34 into 34 plus 2. Right? 34 into 34 plus 2 आप ऐसे कर सकते हो. What is 34 का square? What is 34 का square? How do you find squares faster? So 34 का distance from 50 is 16. 16 के last digit में 56 and 1 carry. 25 minus 16, that is 9 plus 1, 1056, that is 34 का square. Right? You will understand how to find the squares in a different session, right? But for now, you will find the square of 34 plus 34 into 2, that is 68. Correct? ये कितना हो जाएगा? 18 and 6, 24. So that will be 1, 1, 2, 4. Right? 1, 1, 2, 4. I think we might have made a mistake somewhere. Let's quickly check. 34 into 68, that's right. यहाँ पर तो कोई गलती नहीं हुई. 34%, 360. So 100% is 360 degree. 34% is what? 34 into 360 upon 100. That is right. 36 and 34. 34 plus 2 into 34. यहाँ तक भी correct है. Square में तो कोई गलती नहीं हुई. 16 का square 256, पीछे 56, 2 carry था. Okay. Square में ही गलती थी. 1156. Yeah. So this is going to be 1, 2, 2, 4. And पीछे नीचे because 100 है into 10 and 100 है तो आंसर आ जाएगा आपका angle 122.4. 122.4. That means I'm going to mark 122, not 123. Right? बहुत ही आसान question. 1 minute में हो जाना चाहिए. Let's move on. If the investment by NRIs are worth rupees 4,000 crores, then the investments by corporate houses and FIS together is what? Easy to moderate. I'm going to give you about 1.5 minutes Pause the question, pause the video, solve it, and come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have marked your answer. Let's solve it together. Investment by NRIs are 4,000 crores. NRI is 11%. So 11% is 4,000 crores. Then the investments by corporate houses and FIIs together is what? Corporate house 34 and FII is 33. Together they are 67%. Right? 34 plus 33, that is 67%. 11% 4,000 है तो 67% कितना होगा? Can you see that 11 into 6 66 होता है, तो ये almost into 6 हुआ है, तो ये भी almost into 6 होना चाहिए. Into 6 मतलब क्या? Into 6 और थोड़ा सा ज्यादा, because ये 67% है. So answer जो है वो अपना 4,000 into 6 से थोड़ा सा ज्यादा होना चाहिए, little bit more. So 4,000 into 6 24,000 से थोड़ा सा ज्यादा, that is option number B, 24,363. Because the other option is 25. 25 ऊपर नहीं जा सकते अपन. 24,363 is the answer, right? Again, you can solve this with only mental calculation. So this is no pen question, right? Maximum 30 seconds में कर सकते हो without pen. Next question. What percentage of the total investment is coming from FIIs and NRIs? बहुत simple question, वाहियात question, फुद्दू question. I'm going to give you about 20 seconds. Pause the video, solve it, and come back to me. Okay. Total investment from FIIs and NRI. FII कितना है 33, NRI कितना है 11, total है 44. बहुत ही simple, बहुत ही आसान. See, ये तो किसी का गलत नहीं होना चाहिए. See, sometimes you might come face to face with a very, very, very easy question, and you might doubt कि साला कहीं पे कुछ गलती तो नहीं हो गई, right? कभी-कभी होता है ऐसा. But have faith, जो क्वेश्चन है उसको इंटरप्रेट करो. डिफिकल्टी और इजी के ऊपर कमेंट मत करो, उसको दिल पे मत लो, ठीक है? ओके, लेट्स मूव ऑन. Question 4. If the total investment other than by FII and corporate houses is rupees 335,000 crore, then the investment by NRIs and offshore funds will be approximately what? Okay, moderate level question. I'm going to give you 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes maximum, then come back to me. Okay, so I hope by now you have tried to solve the question. Total investment other than by FII. So total investment other than by FIIs and corporate houses. FII और corporate को छोड़ के, FII plus corporate is 67. That means ये 33% की बात चल रही है. So 33% is 335,000. Okay. Then the investment by NRIs and offshore funds will be NRI and offshore. NRI है 11, offshore है 16, मतलब 27%. 27% कितना? Okay. So 27 into 33,500 by 33. ये एक तरीका है, कर सकते हो ऐसा. अगर मैं यहाँ पे लिखूं ऐसे 27 into 335,000 divide by 33. अब ऐसा कर सकते हो. But can we solve this by observation? Can we observe something? For example, यहां पर 33 है तो यहां पर भी 33 है. देखो, अगर यहां पर 33 है तो यहां पर भी 33 है. इसका मतलब यहां पर 27 है तो यहां पर भी 27 समथिंग होना चाहिए. कहां पर है? ऑप्शन ए. बिकॉज कैन नॉट बी डिटरमाइंड तो नहीं हो सकता, डिटरमाइंड तो कर ही सकते हैं. ऑप्शन ए इज द आंसर. खत्म. बहुत ही सिंपल, बहुत ही सिंपल, राइट? अगेन आई वुड से दिस इज लाइक अ 30 सेकंड क्वेश्चन. नो पेन नहीं बोलूंगा बिकॉज शायद आपको पेन चाहिए ये कुछ लिखने के लिए. वैसे वो भी नहीं चाहिए होगा आइडियली, बट अगर मैं इसको भी नो पेन बोलूं तो फिर सारे क्वेश्चन नो पेन हो जाएंगे. आई वोंट से दिस इज अ नो पेन क्वेश्चन, बट यस 30 सेकंड में कर सकते हो. ऑब्जर्व करना है यार. यू कैन ऑब्जर्व द पावर ऑफ ऑब्जर्वेशन. 33 27 पे 27 आना चाहिए. क्यों नहीं आएगा, है ना? सो आंसर क्या है? 274,100, राइट? सो दैट इज इट. Question number 5. If the total investment flows from FIIs were to be doubled in the next year and the investment flows from all the sources had remained constant at their existing levels for this year, then what would be the proportion of FII investment in the total investment into India bonds next year in US $1 million? Right? Easy to moderate question here. Take 1.5 minutes. Pause the video. Come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have marked your answer. Let's try to do it together. Total investment flows from FIIs were to be doubled in the next year. FII जो है वो डबल होने वाला है. इसका मतलब पहले जो आपका 100 था उसमें 33 ऐड हो जाएगा नेक्स्ट ईयर. सो ये हो जाएगा 133 टोटल, जिसमें से FII कितना है? FII है 66. ओके, 133 टोटल, FII 66 है. बाकी सब कुछ कांस्टेंट. ओके, एवरीथिंग, एवरी अदर इन्वेस्टमेंट रिमेन्स कांस्टेंट. Then what would be the proportion of FII investment in the total investment into India bonds? इसका मतलब है 66 का 133 पे proportion कितना है? Right? This is almost double. So this is like 1/2. 1/2 मतलब 50%. Answer B, 50%. As simple as that. कुछ और नहीं करना है. 3 लाइन का क्वेश्चन है, 2 लाइन का आंसर है. राइट? 3 लाइन का क्वेश्चन था, 2 लाइन का आंसर था. राइट? Okay, that's it. Question number 6. What is the approximate ratio of investment flows into India bonds from NRIs to corporate bonds? आसान क्वेश्चन है. Take 1 minute. Come back to me when you have an answer in your hand. Okay, so I hope by now you have solved it. Approximate ratio of investment flows into India bonds from NRIs to corporate house. NRI 11%. कॉर्पोरेट 34%. और इसका रेशियो पूछा, अप्रोक्सीमेट रेशियो कितना होगा? ऑब्वियसली 1:3. बहुत ही आसान क्वेश्चन है ना. 15-20 सेकंड में हो जाना चाहिए था. ठीक है. सो दैट इज इट फॉर पाई चार्ट्स. इन द नेक्स्ट सेशन वी विल बी कंटिन्यूइंग विथ अदर काइंड्स ऑफ डेटा इंटरप्रिटेशन क्वेश्चंस. थैंक यू फॉर वॉचिंग दिस वीडियो.